Cicero. Cicero of Rome. Marcus Tullius Cicero. Wait, who's that guy? So Cicero was a pre-Christian Roman statesman. I believe he died in around 40 something BC. And he was known for essentially, we could think of him today as the first uh, pragmatist or the first pluralist or the first pluralist pragmatist. You can put those together and say it quickly. So he, unlike many men of the day, he didn't specifically fall into a Platonic or Stoic philosophical form of ideas. I mean, he definitely wasn't Jewish. He was Roman through and through. But what he tended to emphasize was natural law. That is to say, man isn't the best source, or government isn't the best source of dictating the moral, virtuous life of man. We need to look to nature in some sense. That is maybe the virtuous heathen, we could say, as an idea espoused before its time. So that was an emphasis of Cicero. He was also, we could say, one of the earliest fiscal conservatives or capitalist. He did not believe and was adamantly opposed to Roman redistribution of wealth. He was one of the early proponents of saying we need to keep and order our republic as much as possible to prevent one man or a small grouping of men or a couple of guys from having all the power. We in his fiscal conservatism, we could say Cicero was an early capitalist to some extent. He's also in his De Republicas. I think he's got a few other works. Cicero is one of the reasons in the Reformed tradition you see him very often referenced because he's a primary source material utilized for the conveying of history, ideas, thoughts, some of the things we know from the early and late Roman world leading up to the advent of John the Baptist and Christ come from Cicero. Cicero. He was a prolific writer, and he was sort of his own man philosophically. He didn't fall into any one camp, which was strange for the day. He was fine blending ideas and thinking things through. And in some sense, he's a model for the Christian. He wasn't a Christian, but in terms of using your own mind, arriving at your own conclusions, studying God's word, and thinking through ideas and applications to come to the most God glorifying position or decision. Cicero, in terms of common grace, can be an example for us in that way, in how he lived rigorously according to not any one camp, but the ideas of nature and natural law. All right, thanks for listening. I hope that was a benefit.